The year is 711. This morning mystery hangs over the horizon, hinting at the beginning of a story that will change the face of the world. A storm is brewing over the Strait of Gibraltar, a narrow channel where Europe and Africa almost touch. The winds howl as if whispering ancient secrets between the two continents. For centuries this strait was a barrier between worlds, but now it's about to become a bridge between two civilizations, a gateway between the past and the future. On the northern coast of Africa, a small army gazes across the water towards Iberia, the land of the Visigoths, where the unknown and glory await them. They feel fear, excitement, and a burning sense of purpose. Each one of them carries their dream and hope in their heart. These men are not just soldiers, they are pioneers about to step into history and leave an indelible mark. The Pillars of Hercules, once thought to be the edge of the world, now represent the threshold of a new era where legend meets reality. Legends warned of disasters beyond these waters, but some were born to challenge limits, and to see beyond the unknown. The waves count down the last hours of an old world. The actors are gathering, the stage is set. Everything awaits the moment of departure. This crossing will reshape Europe, leaving a legacy of art, science, and conflict that echoes to this day. New civilizations will be born from this encounter. The Strait of Gibraltar is no longer a wall. It's a gate of destiny, and a passage for dreams and ambitions. The world is about to change forever. Everything will transform with the first step across the water. The winds carry whispers of a new civilization, pushing the ships towards their unknown fate. The lights of Iberia twinkle on the horizon, close yet impossibly far. There, a future not yet written awaits. The men on the shore know they are on the verge of something great. Their hearts beat between fear and hope. The sea is silent, but history is about to roar. The old order is ending, and a new dawn is approaching. The new awaits on the other side of the water. The moment has come, the crossing will begin. The world holds its breath, anticipating the start of a story like no other. The story of Al-Andalus is about to be written, a new page in the book of history. And it all begins here, at the Whispering Strait, where dreams meet destiny and new eras are born. Across the water, the Visigothic Kingdom in Hispania is falling apart from the inside. Power struggles and backstabbing are poisoning the court. Noble families are fighting over who gets to be king. The people are suffering, divided by class and religion, with little hope for change. King Roderick sits on a shaky throne, having taken power and split the nobles. The sons of the previous king, Witiza, are plotting revenge, making the kingdom's wounds even deeper. The social ladder is stuck, nobles and church leaders at the top, then the Hispano-Romans, then the serfs and Jews at the bottom. Unhappiness is growing. Many don't feel loyal to the king. While Roderick fights rebellions in the north, he ignores the storm brewing in the south. The kingdom looks strong, but it's empty inside, ready to collapse. The Visigothic system is a dying tree, its roots sick. The slightest push will make it fall apart. In all this mess, a man named Count Julian shows up. He's the ruler of Ceuta, and he's a powerful and important guy. He's a man stuck between two worlds, his old one and a new one that's coming. The story goes that King Roderick disrespected Julian's daughter, Florinda. This turned Julian's loyalty into deep hatred. Julian wants revenge, and his personal anger becomes the key to what happens to all of Iberia. He offers his ships and information to Musa ibn Nusair, who is the Umayyad governor in North Africa. In return, he wants help to get rid of Roderick. Musa tests Julian's offer with a small attack led by Tariq ibn Malik to see how strong the enemy is. It works. It shows that the kingdom is divided and weak, so a deal is made between the two sides. Julian's anger opens the door for an invasion and changes history forever. A Christian count invites a Muslim army to overthrow a Christian king. It's a very unexpected team-up. Personal revenge starts a fight that will last for hundreds of years and change the whole area. Musa sees a chance, and Julian sees justice. Both of them want to get what they want. The stage is set for a new power to come into Iberia. The Count's plan is in motion, and the results will be huge. One man's anger will change the fate of an entire continent. The dice have been thrown, and there's no turning back. The invasion begins under the cover of darkness, with silence and mystery covering the sea. Tariq ibn Ziyad, a brilliant Berber general, leads 7,000 men, most of them Berbers who recently became Muslim, across the strait, bravely facing the waves and the dark. Using Julian's ships, they cross in small groups, quiet and unseen, moving carefully so they don't get noticed. They land at the base of a huge rock, Gibraltar, which will soon be known as Jabal Tariq, where the sea meets the rock in an amazing sight. The tension is clear. Every shadow could be a patrol, every sound a threat, and hearts beat fast waiting for what's next. But their faith and trust in Tariq push them forward, giving them the courage to face what lies ahead. By dawn, the entire army stands on European land, looking out at the new horizon. They have set up a safe spot, without being found, getting ready for the next step in silence. The sun rises on a new chapter, lighting up the land for the first time for these strangers. They are strangers in a hostile land, but the first step has been taken, and their fate waits for them in the unknown. The Visigoths are unaware of the danger at their doorstep. The invasion has begun, and nothing will be the same. On Iberian soil, Tariq knows there's no turning back. He gathers his men and gives a legendary speech. The enemy is in front of you, and the sea is behind you. To make sure they're all in this together, he orders the ships to be burned. There's no going back. The fires light up the sky, sealing their fate. Now, victory or death are the only choices. The army changes. They're no longer just invaders, but men with everything on the line. The burning ships send a message. This force is here to stay. The point of no return has been crossed. The fight for Iberia is about to begin. News of the invasion reaches King Roderick. He gathers a huge army, confident in his numbers and strength, but his forces are divided. Witiza's sons march with him, planning betrayal. Tariq's smaller, united army prepares for battle near the Guadalete River. The contrast is stark. Roderick's flashy, fractured army versus Tariq's disciplined, determined force. Tariq receives reinforcements, but he's still outnumbered. The Visigoths are full of plots. The invaders are united with a goal. The fate of Iberia hangs in the balance. Roderick underestimates the threat, blind to the betrayal in his own ranks. Tariq trusts his men and their resolve. Two worlds are about to clash. The decisive battle is at hand. The Battle of Guadalete raged for days. Tariq's smaller army held strong. At the most important moment, Witiza's sons turned on Roderick, causing chaos among the Visigoths. The army fell apart, panic spread. Tariq's men took advantage, turning their defeat into a runaway victory. In all the confusion, King Roderick disappeared. His body was never found. The Visigothic Kingdom fell apart in one day. The road to Toledo was open. The kingdom's leadership was gone. The peninsula was lost. The old system fell with its king. With the Visigothic army destroyed, Tariq's forces sweep through Iberia. News of the defeat spreads panic. Cities fall quickly. Some fight back, but many surrender, seeing the invaders as a way to be free from the Visigoths' harsh rule. Jewish communities, who had been treated badly for a long time, welcome the new rulers. The conquerors offer kindness. Cities that give up get to keep their land and religion if they pay a tax. This way of doing things helps them gain support and makes the invasion go faster. Big cities, Cordoba, Seville, Toledo, fall one after another. In just a few years, almost all of Iberia is under Muslim control. The old way of life is gone. A new society begins to form. The invasion of 711 wasn't an end, but a beginning. Al-Andalus is born. A new name, a new civilization. It becomes a center of learning, culture, and tolerance, even as conflict continues under the surface. Muslims, Jews, and Christians build a golden age, translating ancient knowledge and making new discoveries. But unity fades. Internal conflicts and external threats persist. The Reconquista begins, and the dance of coexistence and conflict continues. Al-Andalus shines as a beacon of progress, but its future is uncertain. The story that began with a whisper across the strait becomes a legend. The actions of a few change the world. Every new beginning echoes with glory and loss. What's something people don't know about Al-Andalus? Al-Andalus was one of the greatest stories in history. This was a land where cultures met, clashed, and created brilliance together. For centuries, Al-Andalus was a beacon of civilization in Europe's so-called Dark Ages. But every rise casts a shadow, and Al-Andalus is also a tragedy. Its diversity and ambition fueled both its greatness and its downfall. Empires are not permanent. Unity is fragile. The story of Al-Andalus is a reminder that moments of cultural fusion can create wonders, but also that the brightest lights can be extinguished. In the early 8th century, a new power swept across North Africa, the armies of Islam. They looked across the Mediterranean at Hispania, a Visigothic kingdom weakened by internal strife. A door was about to open, and history would be rewritten. Al-Andalus is not just a Spanish or Muslim story, it's a human one. It's a dream built, lived, and lost. Our journey begins with a crossing, a battle, and the birth of a new world. The lessons of Al-Andalus echo through time, warning us of the cost of division. Let's begin. You need to hear this if you're a history lover, because what happened in 711 changed everything for the Iberian Peninsula. In 711, Berber commander Tariq ibn Ziyad crossed into Iberia, landing at what we now call Gibraltar. He wasn't just a raider, he was the vanguard of a new order sent by the Umayyad Caliphate. The Visigothic Kingdom he found was fractured, its king Roderick a usurper with many enemies. At the Battle of Guadalete, Tariq's disciplined force defeated Roderick's divided army. The king was killed, and the path into Hispania lay open. City after city fell, including Toledo, the Visigothic capital. Within a few years, most of the Iberian Peninsula was under Muslim control. This was Al-Andalus. For the locals it was a shock, new rulers, language and religion. But far away the Umayyad Caliphate was collapsing, overthrown by the Abbasids in 750. The Abbasids hunted down every Umayyad they could find. One young prince, Abd al-Rahman, escaped the slaughter. His journey would shape the destiny of Al-Andalus. The stage was set for a new chapter, one of survival, ambition, and transformation. The fate of Al-Andalus would soon rest in the hands of an exile. The story of a dynasty forged in exile was about to begin, and with it, a new era for the peninsula. Why are there not more people talking about how a teenage fugitive, Abd al-Rahman, escaped the Abbasids and changed the fate of an entire continent? For years, he wandered North Africa, hunted and alone, learning to survive by wit and ruthlessness. Al-Andalus, distant from Baghdad and torn by Arab-Berber rivalries, offered him a chance. He rallied Umayyad loyalists and Syrian soldiers, promising unity and order. In 755, Abd al-Rahman landed in Al-Andalus, not as a fugitive but as a contender. He faced the Abbasid governor near Cordoba. His smaller force, inspired by his leadership, won a stunning victory. Cordoba opened its gates, and Abd al-Rahman I established the Umayyad Emirate, independent from the Abbasids. The Abbasids called him the Falcon of the Quraysh. Against all odds, he founded a dynasty in exile. Under his rule, Al-Andalus would become the most advanced society in Europe. The stage was set for a golden age of culture, science, and art. From exile, Abd al-Rahman built a new world. The Umayyad legacy would transform the peninsula. Al-Andalus was now a land of promise and innovation. Its capital, Cordoba, would soon dazzle the world. I bet you didn't know Cordoba was once the most magnificent city in Western Europe. The Golden Age peaked with Abd al-Rahman III, who declared himself caliph in the 10th century. Cordoba became the largest, most magnificent city in Western Europe. Paved streets, streetlights, and public baths. Prosperity came from advanced agriculture and global trade. New crops and irrigation transformed the land. Cordoba's markets brimmed with goods from across the world. The city was a center of learning, with libraries holding hundreds of thousands of books. Scholars, Muslim, Jewish, and Christian, studied medicine, mathematics, and philosophy, preserving ancient knowledge. This society was remarkably tolerant for its time. Christians and Jews, though taxed, could rise to high positions. The blend of peoples and ideas created a dynamic, creative culture. Cordoba's intellectual ferment made Al-Andalus truly golden. Here, the past and future met in dazzling harmony. The city's legacy would echo for centuries. Cordoba was the ornament of the world. What's something people don't know about the Great Mosque of Cordoba? Begun by Abd al-Rahman I on a former Visigothic church, it became a wonder of the medieval world. Step inside, and you enter a forest of over 850 columns, jasper, onyx, marble, supporting double-tiered red and white arches. The design creates a sense of infinite space, perfect for prayer and contemplation. The mihrab, a dazzling mosaic niche, was a gift from the Byzantine emperor, evidence of Cordoba's global connections. Walls are covered in intricate geometric patterns and calligraphy, masterpieces of Islamic art. The mosque was more than a place of worship. It was a university, court, and community center. Here, scholars debated, judges ruled, and citizens gathered. The Great Mosque was a statement of Umayyad identity and ambition. It declared Al-Andalus a civilization of faith, wealth, and artistic genius. Even today it inspires awe. The mosque's beauty endures as a symbol of a lost world. In stone and light it tells the story of Al-Andalus. Its arches echo with the memory of a golden age. The heart of Cordoba still beats within its walls. Exposing the hidden cracks in the Caliphate of Cordoba, what really tore it apart? Wealth and power bred jealousy and brutal court politics. By the 11th century, weak caliphs neglected the hard work of governing. Real power shifted to Al-Mansur, a brilliant general who ruled as a virtual dictator. He kept Al-Andalus strong through force, but his rule was personal, not structural. When Al-Mansur died in 1002, chaos erupted. Rival Arab and Berber factions fought for control, provinces broke away. Civil war shattered the unity that had made Al-Andalus strong. In 1031, Cordoba's citizens abolished the caliphate. The Umayyad Empire was gone, replaced by a patchwork of city-states. The dream of a united Al-Andalus was over. Magnificent civilization fractured into pieces. Internal divisions opened the door for enemies. A new, more dangerous chapter was beginning. The end had begun. This is why you need to understand the age of the taifas. The caliphate's collapse birthed dozens of small rival kingdoms. Each city, Seville, Granada, Toledo, became a petty kingdom ruled by ambitious generals or nobles. Politically it was chaos, endless wars, shifting alliances and betrayals. Their disunity made them vulnerable. Yet culturally, the taifas competed in art, poetry and science, fueling a burst of creativity. Poets and scholars moved from court to court seeking patronage. Some of the greatest Arabic poetry and scientific advances emerged in this era. But the brilliance couldn't hide fatal weakness. The Taifa kings often paid Christian kingdoms for military help, funding their own destruction. Gold flowed north, strengthening their enemies. The seeds of downfall were sown in their rivalries. The Christian kingdoms watched, waiting for their moment. The stage was set for the Reconquista. The light of Al-Andalus flickered, threatened from within and without. You need to hear this if you're a student of history. As Al-Andalus fractured, Christian kingdoms in the north grew stronger. Confined for centuries to the mountains, they seized the chance to push south. The Reconquista, Christian expansion, became a holy war to reclaim the land. Kings like Alfonso VI played the taifas against each other, demanding gold for military aid. When the time was right, they turned on their former allies. One by one, Muslim city-states fell. In 1085, Alfonso VI captured Toledo, a major center of Islamic culture. Panic swept Al-Andalus. The taifas realized they faced destruction. Desperate, they called for help from the Almoravids, Berber warriors from North Africa. The Almoravids crushed Alfonso at Sagrajas in 1086, halting the Christian advance. But soon the Almoravids took over Al-Andalus, uniting it under strict rule. The taifas had traded one master for another. The struggle for survival continued. The Reconquista was far from over. I bet you didn't know that the last Muslim kingdom in Spain survived for centuries after the fall of Cordoba and Seville. Almoravid rule brought order, but their harshness alienated the Andalusi cities. They were overthrown by the Almohads, who briefly held back the Christian advance. In 1212, the Battle of Las Navas de Tolosa shattered Almohad power. The Christian Reconquista surged forward. Cordoba fell in 1236, Seville in 1248. It seemed Muslim Spain was finished. Yet in the mountains, the Emirate of Granada emerged under the Nizari dynasty. Muhammad ibn al-Ammar, its founder, became a vassal of Castile, paying tribute to survive. It was a humiliating compromise, but it bought time. Granada endured for 2.5 centuries, small, vulnerable, but fiercely resilient. Through diplomacy, tribute, and resistance, it became a final flowering of Andalusi culture. The Alhambra Palace rose as a symbol of beauty and defiance. Granada's long resistance is a tale of courage in the face of doom. The last light of Al-Andalus flickered in its palaces and gardens. The story of Granada is a farewell sigh from a dying civilization. The echoes of Al-Andalus still linger, a testament to both its glory and its fall.